Hello everyone and welcome to our fourth day of this Spring Regionals special. So, today's video will feature Darkrai, Yveltal, Archeops and Gallade. Now, as you can see from this overall view of the deck, there are quite a few attackers, and it'll provide us with a lot of options when we are playing out our games, and we especially have Archeops and Gallade as support Pokemon in order to provide extra damage output through Gallade and make sure we can keep our opponent's evolved Pokemon in check with Archeops. So let's review the Pokemon and everything else really quickly. We have one Darkrai EX. This is to facilitate retreating, and Night Spear can be a really useful attack for clutch situations, although I feel like 90 damage can come up short a lot of the time. I think it's a really good attacker, or rather a really good utility card because of its ability allowing us to free retreat. Now we have two Yveltal EX, one of the main attackers in the deck. Dark Patch is no longer available in Standard, but it is in Expanded, so you are able to power up Evil Ball and Wise Cyclone really easily, and you can deal a ton of damage to your opponent's Pokemon. We have three Yveltals, only one of the Oblivion Wing. I feel like 30 damage is a really low amount, and it's mostly there in case you need to maybe sacrifice a Pokemon, get an energy out of it, things like that, but probably won't be the main focus of the deck. Whereas this other Yveltal with Fright Knight, preventing the effects of Pokemon tool cards can be really useful, especially when you're up against things like Fighting Fury Belt, which should be pretty popular. You prevent extra damage from Muscle Band, and you can prevent Spirit Links from allowing your opponent to evolve without ending their turn. And not only that, Pitch Black Spear is a really nice attack where usually you will find one or two Jirachi and Shaymin EX benched on your opponent's side of the field. So if you're able to pull off two Pitch Black Spears in a row with both Yveltals or with a single Yveltal, you should be able to pick up 4 prizes relatively easily. Now, like I was mentioning, for the rest of the Pokemon in the supporting cast, we have the Archeops, which with its ability Ancient Power, no player can evolve any of their Pokemon, but since we don't run evolutions, there's no issue for us in terms of that, and we should be able to prevent our opponent from Mega Evolving and getting things like Trevenant or even Vileplume out. So we also have Gallade, which has the ability Premonition that allows us to stack our deck, the top 5 cards in our deck, allowing us to have more control over what we get and when we get it, which is definitely really nice. And Sensitive Blade is a really nice attack, really cost effective, and you will usually always play a supporter, so you will almost always be dealing max damage with it. Now we have one Jirachi EX to help us find the maxis, so that we can get either Gallade or Archeops depending on what we're facing up against, relatively quicker into play. We have one Keldeo to aid us with the retreating aspect of the deck. We do have Darkness Energy, so a Keldeo EX with a single Darkness Energy allows us to free retreat no matter what, and prevents us from getting stuck in the active slot with Pokemon that are falling asleep because of Hypnotoxic Laser, or simply to remove the poison damage. And one Seismitoad EX, we have seen how useful this card was in Tuesday's video with the inclusion of a single copy in the Electric Raikou deck, so I really recommend you check that out if you haven't yet, and it makes sense to include here because we do run 4 double colorless energy. So speaking of double colorless energy, let's go right into the energy. We have 4 of those. They power up Yveltal to do extra damage, they power up Seismitoad, they can maybe power up Keldeo in a pinch, they power up Gallade. So overall, probably one of the best cards in the deck, and we have a healthy amount of 7 Darkness Energy in order to power up our attackers. And finally, we move on to the most complex aspect of the deck, if you will. We have 3 Battle Compressor. This allows us to get the most out of our Dark Patches and maybe baby Yveltal's attack. They allow us to have some flexibility with the supporters and verse seekers, so definitely a really versatile and useful card. Our ace spec of choice is computer search. There aren't really any other that are too useful, and this increases consistency of the deck, along with increasing the chances of getting that turn 1 maxis to get Gallade or Archeops, or maybe even both in consecutive turns. So definitely the best choice for this deck. Then we have 4 dark patches. These allow you to gain energy advantage by recovering discarded energy. Always really useful to power up your Pokemon and get those KOs. Then we have 3 Hypnotoxic Laser. Once again, a bit of extra damage, the chance of keeping your opponent asleep. Really amazing card in this format. Trainer's Mail. As you can see, over half our deck is an item or a supporter or a stadium, so Trainer's Mail is a very useful card as well to help us thin out our deck and maybe allows us to get what we need in that moment. For Ultra Ball, to find every single Pokemon we could potentially need in our deck. For Verse Seekers, to reuse all of the following supporters that I'm about to list. And yeah, that covers the items. Now, 1 AC to recover Pokemon, to heal, to retreat. It's a really useful and versatile card. 1 Colress, once again, really useful card. It allows you to draw a ton of cards, and because you have Archeops, because you have Gallade, because you have Keldeo, because you have the Yveltals, you'll almost always have a full bench in this deck, so Colress will be drawing you a ton of cards. 1 Getsis, this card can really surprise your opponent, especially when combined with Seismitoad EX. So yeah, a well-timed Getsis can really put a stop to your opponent's plans. And because we do have not only Compressor but Verse Seeker, we can definitely use it when in the right moment. 1 Lysander, so that we can target whatever we need when we need to. 2 Maxis to reduce the odds of it being stuck in the prices, and so that we can get our Archeops and Gallade along with some extra cards. A single N, this is probably the one thing I don't agree with this list, but this list did get top 8 at, I believe, Florida Regionals, so only 1 N for now. I would love 2, because I feel like we will maybe struggle with that in terms of prices, but we will manage. 2 Sycamore, only 2 because we do have the 2 Maxis, and those will be providing a lot of draw as well. A single Burbank City Gym. There's really not too many useful stadiums for this kind of deck, so an extra 20 damage from a Hypnotoxic Laser, turning the poison from 10 to 30, could be really useful. And the odds of facing someone who is using Burbank City Gym themselves are really high, so that's why if you run more than this, you will probably end up with a lot of Burbank City Gyms in your hand, which you cannot play, and only become discard fodder for Ultra Balls. And finally, 2 Floatstone. Sometimes you cannot afford to place an energy onto Keldeo or something else in order to retreat, so yeah, every energy attachment counts, so Floatstone might help you out in preventing being forced to attach to something like Keldeo or something like that and missing an attack. And 2 Muscle Band to increase the damage output. So that covers the deck. Now let's go find our games for this hour-long video, where hopefully we will do really well. I think we've done pretty well so far this week. I feel really confident with the fact that I'm slowly adapting to the expanded metagame. I have lost a couple of games because of misplays, but it's not the end of the world, and I don't know, I feel like it's still up in the air in terms of what you face in the versus ladder for expanded. You can face some really standard decks, you can face some really weird decks like the Regirock deck and things like that, but you never know what to expect in standard tournaments. So my opponent is using a Psychic type deck, so I would imagine he's using Trevenant, and he is going first, so if he gets the turn 1 Wallis, we might be in a lot of trouble. We do have the type advantage, but I really fear the turn 1 Wallies, and also any energy removal my opponent might run himself. So it is Trevenant. He does start Phantom, attaches an energy, and he will Skyla. That means no. That absolutely means no. Why can't I speak? That means no Wallies on his first turn, which is obviously great. He Skylas for a Virbank City Gym. That seems a bit strange. He does flip heads. I do have an AC, but it's not looking like I will be able to do damage, although top decking Shaman is definitely useful. Now, if I somehow got a Dark Patch and a Darkness in my discard pile, I could definitely play AC. But, okay, I think my best play here is to Ultra Ball the Maxis and the Colress. Find myself, well, if I go, well, the baby Yveltal is actually prized. So, if I go for a Jirachi, can I guarantee? No. So what gives me the best odds of getting a KO there, of getting the Dark Patch and the Battle Compressor? I guess Keldeo, because I might need to use a supporter, and that opens up the possibility of drawing the Floatstone as well. So I'm gonna bench Keldeo. I will attach the DCE to Yveltal, and I will play Shaman. So let's see what our first 5 cards net us. We do get the Dark Patch, but we don't get the Compressor. So if I find a Battle Compressor right here, which I don't, we were so close, guys, so close. We were so close. That's frustrating. Okay, I'm gonna get the Muscle Band because I don't want him attaching a Head Ringer onto my Keldeo, or onto my Yveltal, sorry. I will attach it there, and well, I actually still have the opportunity to draw more cards. So I'm gonna Ultra Ball the N and the Gallade. I'm going to find myself the second Shaman, and hopefully we find a Battle Compressor right now. If we do, we're gonna be in an excellent position because we will take a KO on that Phantom. We still don't, but because we do get the Darkness energy now, I could have. So frustrating. Well, no. I mean, no. If we had found the Compressor or an Ultra Ball, there was already 2 Ultra Balls. Okay. So. I mean, I can still Sycamore, right? But then I would need to hit a Dark Patch and a Floatstone. I'm gonna play this because either way he's going to get the Trevenant next turn, and I guess I might as well Sycamore. I mean, the Stadium I don't need, the AC I can afford to discard, and okay, now if I get the Floatstone here, I don't. Okay, but I do get a second Dark Patch, which is pretty okay, I think. Yeah, my opponent is very nice. VTNC. Well, I actually don't know what that means, but going to Ultra Ball away the Darkness and the Sycamore, no, and the Maxis, because in order to play the Maxis, I would need to... Oh boy, I would need... Well, actually, to play the Maxis, I would need to bench the Seismitoad, but after I bench the Seismitoad, I will not have an option to get myself another benched Pokemon, so it doesn't really make sense. And yeah, I'm going to bench the Darkrai, and now all I need next turn, I mean, Yveltal will get KO'd, most likely. Or maybe not, actually. Maybe it'll survive. But now I only need a Darkness energy to attach to Keldeo and retreat, or a DCE, and I do have a Sycamore in my hand. Now the issue will be how to deal with that Sigilyph. That will be the bigger issue, because my baby Yveltal is prized, and the Fright Night Spear Yveltal will be quite damaged. But if I manage to attack twice with Pitch Black Spear, then that means I can KO Sigilyph and KO Shaman. So yeah, 60 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon EX. Okay, so we're still okay here. We definitely got a really sick first turn. Really sick first turn. I think odds were in our favor for me to get the turn 1 KO, but alas that did not happen. Now my opponent is running a Gengar deck, so our Lysander just became the most important card in all of my deck. He places a Rock Guard onto the Phantom, which definitely isn't ideal, because he will only evolve. He gets a Crushing Hammer. He flips Tails though, that's fine. He plays a Skyla, maybe he will go for an Enhanced Hammer. Yep, an Enhanced Hammer. That's still fine, I still get the KO, but that might set us a bit behind. It's never nice for your opponent to discard your energies. I mean, not nice for you, obviously. So Ascension will prevent any item cards. All I need is a Darkness Energy. I would love to have access to item cards so that I could attach a Floatstone instead, but nothing guarantees that I will have the Floatstone either. So, and I top deck a Hypnotoxic Laser, which would have been a really nice card to conserve. But I can attach to Keldeo, I can use Rush In, then Free Retreat, and take my KO with Yveltal. Unfortunately, that Rock Guard means we get 60 damage back, but we are not at too big of a threat right now. He no longer has the option to... Oh boy, he no longer has the option to prevent item card usage, so we can Maxis, we can Colress, but most importantly we can AC. And yeah, that poison really taking a toll. My opponent actually opts to promote Hoopa, but I top deck a Computer Search, which means I can get rid of the Ultra Ball and the Archeops. I can either find a Compressor or the Lysander directly if it's in the deck. It is in the deck, so I guess, I mean, well, I'm gonna go for the Lysander directly, because if I discard it, then that means a Verse Seeker becomes it's like wasting a Verse Seeker for no reason at all. So I'm going to, how much damage I need to attach the DC? Oh, but I can use the other attack, that's fine. So I promote Gengar, then I retreat into Yveltal, I attach the DCE, I can get a KO on the Gengar, and yeah, that's the victory. Perfect. I mean, we did have the weakness advantage, and we did have that really sick first turn. That was really sick, and there wasn't much my opponent could do about it. I mean, I guess he even got lucky that I wasn't able to KO that Phantom. That first turn would have made the match even more tilted towards my favor. But yeah, let's find ourselves our second game. Now, I guess there's two things I want to say. First off, I didn't go for Archeops because of the fact that because Phantom can go for search for Trevenant and evolve with its attack Ascension, then you cannot prevent evolution with Archeops. That attack bypasses any... Yeah, I do want to go first. Seems like we're up against Night March, which then maybe I should have gone second. it does bypass Archeops' ability. And second, I forgot what my second point was. I genuinely forgot what my second point was. Now we get an okay start, I guess. Except not really. This is not good, guys. This is not good. I'm gonna have to draw something really sick with this Shaman. 2 cards only. Okay, the Fright Night Yveltal is a start. I get a Muscle Band. Wow. I'm in a lot of trouble here. I am in positively a lot of trouble. Now, does he get everything he needs to get Yveltal? I'm sure he does. So, in order to conserve the energy, I guess, I should promote this Yveltal and just pass my turn. Maybe I could have... Nah. The issue was having to attach the Floatstone and the Darkness Energy. Not a good start. Not a good way to start a match against Night March. So my opponent already has the switch in case he doesn't find the stadium. He can take a KO with Joltik, and doing that means he needs less Night Marchers in the discard pile. My opponent's discard pile just disappeared. Well, it's back there now. He already has 4 Night Marchers. He goes for another Battle Compressor, and yeah, he definitely has either a Verse Seeker. Okay, he gets rid. Now he has 7 Night Marchers, so he has the KO on the Yveltal. He goes for a Juniper, so he will be able to KO my Yveltal, but if for some reason he doesn't find a basic Pokemon, then maybe I can win. He attaches a Fighting Fury Belt, plays the Stadium, plays the TCE, and he gets the Ultra Ball. Damn, there's the Shaman. So I was really hoping he wouldn't find another basic Pokemon, but looks like he did. I will be able to KO back the Phantom, but seeing my hand, I don't really have too much high hopes for the rest of the turns. My opponent does go for the Lysander from the Trainer's Mail, and he gets the KO. So probably should have gone second. We have 2 turns to top deck out of this. Trainer's Mail definitely helped her case. Best case scenario, okay. Best case scenario would have been Battle Compressor, but I'll take the Computer Search. I will discard the Verse Seeker, and what else? The Muscle Band? No. The DCE? No. So probably the Dark Patch. Fright Night Yveltal is really important in this matchup. I think that's what really makes or breaks it. And okay, well, I could lock my opponent with Seismic Toad, but then I'd be pretty much out of luck here. So I might get this. Could AC, but I think I'm going to N here. Definitely think using N is my best play. Now I could attach the TCE to Shaman, expecting him to whiff the Lysander. So I guess I'll attach the Muscle Band and the TCE, and I'm going to end my opponent. That makes sure he doesn't have the Lysander in his hand. I unfortunately don't get anything too useful out of this. I will play the Battle Compressor, get rid of a couple Darkness Energies, and the Gallade, I guess. Well, 1 Darkness, the Gallade, and the Maxis, because why not? I do have the Verse Seeker. Now, the Hypnotoxic Laser I don't think is going to be too important, so I'm just gonna waste it right now. And we still have a few others, and I'm gonna have to play another Shaman, which gives my opponent another target, another 2-price target, but I really needed to draw extra cards. So now with that Floatstone, This is interesting. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the AC and the float stone. I think I'm going to regret discarding the float stone, but oh boy, what? Both my Fright Night Yveltals are priced? Are you kidding me? Wait. Oh no, one got KO'd, so the other is priced. Ugh. So what do I even find? Seismitoad? This is horrible, guys. This is absolutely horrible. Wow. I'm gonna find Yveltal EX, but that's definitely not the best play. Ugh. I don't think we're going to win this one. I really don't think we're going to win this one. Unless we can pull off some really sick ends. I really don't think we're going to pull off this one. Okay. Muscle Band. Probably not. Burbank City Gym, I guess, is my best play. Except not really. Well, actually, I could take the KO with Shaman and bring that guy back up. But then what do I sacrifice? The Shaman EX? I mean, that would allow me to end him down to 3 cards. But no. I'd rather force him to have the Lysander. Oh boy. We are in for a treat of a game, aren't we? Okay, I do free up the Lysander. I don't know how much that's going to help us. He immediately finds an Ultra Ball, discards a Juniper and a Jirachi. Okay, so he finds Mew. That's an interesting choice. He plays a town map. I want to see 3 TCs priced. Nope. He finds the switch and he has another Juniper. Okay. So he needs a stadium or a TCE. Doesn't really matter which one. He finds a Fighting Fury belt. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, this is not good, guys. This is not good. I mean, I could Lysander the Joltik. Could Lysander the Joltik. That means he would need another Night Marcher, but he has a ton of options. He's only played 1 Verse Seeker. No. I don't think we're getting out of this one alive. I genuinely don't think so. Versus Seekers. So, N, I guess? Or AC. I mean, N will net him the exact same amount of cards. So it's either N or AC. N to draw some cards, or AC. I guess I'll AC. Simply because, well, he did get to pick his price. Yeah, the 2-for-1 trade-off in attackers is not going to work in our favor. That's the biggest issue here right now. Do find the Seismitoad, but that's not going to help me out. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Night Marchers, plus the 10 damage. But then how do I retreat the Seismitoad? And it will have 30. It currently has 160 HP. Then I retreat the Seismitoad with an AC. Nope. I'm gonna have to sacrifice the Seismitoad. Gonna have to sacrifice the Seismitoad. Oh boy. Nope, I should have Lysandered the Joltik, I think. I think that would have been my better play. Gonna attach the Darkness to Yveltal, and I'm going to Sky Return here. Things are not looking good right now. Things are not looking good right now because of the 2-for-1 price trade-off. He needs 1 Night Marcher to KO me in the discard pile. He has a Versus Seeker. He will... Well, I guess... Yeah, he will Juniper once more. And does he discard... No, he discards a TCE, but doesn't discard a Night Marcher. And he's down to 6 cards in his deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 160 damage. Okay, he finds an Ultra Ball, discards the last Joltik, finds another Joltik, benches it, so that removes the Lysander strategy as an option. And yeah, we have lost here because he has the stadium and he has the energy on Mew. So no matter what, that is game. So I'm just gonna concede. I mean, I can't take enough prizes. I can't prevent him from night marching this upcoming turn. Maybe N would have been a better choice. Maybe Lysandering the Joltiks in consecutive turns would have been better. Maybe. Not entirely sure. But that's how the matchup goes. I mean, our start definitely didn't favor us. I mean, I did choose to go first, and in a tournament setting where you don't know what you're up against. I mean, I knew it was Night March because of the previous screen from PTCGO, but under normal tournament conditions, you will not know what your opponent is playing, especially in the first few rounds. Maybe later on you heard something or you scouted out the top tables or whatever. But usually you won't know what your opponent is playing, so if it was a best of 3, I definitely would have chosen to go second if I had that information, maybe in top cut. But without the information, I would always choose to go first. I don't think I would ever foresee a situation where I choose to go second. Now my opponent preview now was Grass, Lightning, Dragon, and Colorless, so it might be a Vespiquen, Vileplume, Jolteon, Giratina deck or something like that. And he is going first, so that means no chance of Archeops seeing the light of day, I think. Let's see what he flips over. Okay, it's Zekrom, actually, not Jolteon. That's a card I haven't seen in a really long time. That's from Black and White. Wow. He attaches an energy and simply passes. Okay. So, he can poison the Zekrom, but that Zekrom is looking really threatening. I'm still gonna do it though. I do flip heads. I will attach the Muscle Band to the Yveltal. I will computer search away the Maxis and the Verse Seeker in order to find what? A Keldeo, I guess? Because I really don't want him to wake up and do some sort of weird trick to KO me. I wish I had a... Well, I could have gone for a Battle Compressor actually. That was really dumb. Could have gone... Wow. Wow. I could have gone for a Battle Compressor and gotten out Archeops, because I really think that's some sort of Vileplume deck. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that's some sort of Vileplume deck. So that was a misplay on my part, not gonna lie. That was a really bad misplay on my part. Should have just Battle Compressored for the Maxis and the Archeops, and I would have been set. Although my opponent doesn't have anything. So we're actually going to win this match on turn 2. So I was worried for nothing. Really unfortunate for my opponent that he got to draw so terribly. Our hand wasn't too great either, but we are able to take our KO with Y Cyclone or Energy Ball, or Yveltal rather, both would have been fine, and we win a really quick game by decking out our opponent. His deck was actually not something competitive, so I'm really glad that's done and over with. We only wasted 3 minutes showcasing that, and we get 50 coins off of our efforts. Not bad. Okay, so we find a much more competitive game next. I can't believe I was fearing a Vileplume, Giratina, Jolteon lock deck, and we ended up facing against a Pokedex deck. That's what I like to call newer players deck, which don't have too many cards and are starting out. They usually like to include a ton of different Pokemon because that's what they have, and they're like Pokedexes because they have so much variety in their decks. So now we're up against that Metal, Darkness, Psychic, Colorless deck. could be an Yveltal mirror match-ish. Could be Darkrai Hypno with Aegislash or with Jirachi. Darkrai Hypno, I think, is what makes the most sense. I think I've gone second in every... No, I actually went first against Night March. So, let's see how we do here. So going second is not the end of the world, because I will be able to get a turn 2 item lock, which is definitely really nice. Definitely really nice, not gonna complain about that. No matter what deck you're up against, that's going to set them behind a little bit. So, we do see Darkrai, we do see Mewtwo, we do see Yveltal, so it is a mirror match of some sort. Some cards are still not loading for some reason, and I have no idea why. Downloaded. I've clicked to download. I've seriously clicked to download every single card like 5 times, and there are still cards that I have not downloaded yet. Okay, my opponent gets a pretty magical start. pretty magical start. He even gets the... Okay, we do see Malamar. Wow. Okay, he gets rid of so many supporters that might end up hurting him late game, but he manages to play down so many cards that is not great. Now, powering up the Fright Night Yveltal might be in our best interest, because he does have a ton of benched Pokemon EX. I could potentially get this here, but I think I'd rather touch the Muscle Band and find myself, well, I mean, yeah, he didn't play anything else. So, going to computer search and find myself Shaman, because I don't want to get rid of my Dark Patch in this mirror match, especially when he's running Mewtwo. I definitely want to be able to power up something out of the blue and get myself some nice KOs. And there we go. We do find a Battle Compressor, and we even have a chance still to use a supporter card, so we'll get rid of 2 Darkness Energies for our 2 Dark Patches. And what else? A Sycamore? Maybe? No, because we will have Coldress. So I'm gonna get rid of the Maxis. Actually, no. It's Gallade. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of Gallade. Maxis, Gallade, and a single Darkness Energy. We have more Battle Compressor, and our Pokemon will get KO'd eventually. So, having this item lock should prove really useful. Now the thing here is, I am a bit scared of the Malamar putting us to sleep. So, if I actually Lysander up the Shaman, he might be forced to attach to it, but then that leaves it open for a Pitch Black Spear. I could also Lysander the Malamar. Yeah, actually I'm going to Lysander the Shaman, because that puts it at exactly 60 HP for a Pitch Black Spear, and also if he wants to retreat, forces him to attach to Shaman instead of Malamar, so he doesn't put us to sleep. So that, I think that was my best play at the time. I mean, I could have Cold Wrist, gotten myself 6 brand new cards, but yeah. He attaches to Shaman and retreats. That means he can also start, or rather power up Shaman once again and put it back into his deck. But okay, Sableye. Interesting. Bewitching Eyes. Floatstone. I want to save the Floatstone, and I would love to simply pick that Shaman off right now. So can I do that? I think I can. I think I can if I find myself Darkrai and Keldeo. Do I have enough cards? I do have enough cards, but I would be left with only the Sycamore in my hand. Well, actually no, because I need to power up Yveltal still. So never mind. I can, however, find Shaman. So going to get rid of this and this. I will find Shaman or Keldeo. I guess Keldeo. Keldeo? Huh. Yeah. No. Yeah. Keldeo. I do have the Sycamore. So I'm going to bench Keldeo. I'm going to use this. Really wanted the TCG, but I guess I won't be seeing it anytime soon. We'll attach the energy to Keldeo, and I guess I will play the Battle Compressor, thin out my deck a little bit more, get rid of the Archeops, and another Darkness Energy. And what else? What else? I guess that's it. I guess that is it. And the other Battle Compressor. So I get to lock my opponent once again. I do have the Darkness on Keldeo already, so now all I need is to find either the Darkrai or the Float Stone, and I can pick up the KO onto this Shaman. Not onto Yveltal, but it's not the end of the world. My opponent doesn't have anything besides Oblivion Wing, so that's really great. And maybe freeing him from the item lock is not the best idea. And actually, if I don't find the Float Zone or an Ultra Ball here, which I don't, I won't be able to pick up the KO. So, not too bad. Definitely not too bad. I can power up Yveltal. And yeah, I guess seeing the current situation, it's better for me to simply keep up the luck. Doesn't seem like he has energy, or he's powering up Darkrai actually. There's something that could help me right now by using Shaman. I'm gonna wait for a single turn. I'm going to Quaking Punch. And plus the 3 damage counters, that means I don't have the Rosic or Megaphone, otherwise that would be really sick. Fortunately, Yveltal will be 10 HP away from getting KO'd, but there's nothing I can do about that. He opts to attach once again to Darkrai and attacks me with Oblivion Wings. So now I can pick a double KO with Fright Night Yveltal. But I don't know, this is complicated. I guess I Cold Res right now. I guess I do Cold Res, and picking up 3 prizes I think will be really, really nice. I'm not attaching just yet because I want to find a Darkness Energy to attach to this Yveltal, which I do find, and I even find the Darkrai. Perfect. So I'm going to attach this energy, and I'm going to save the Dark Patch for now. There's no need for me to play it just yet. I might want to power up a Fright Night Yveltal out of the blue for later on, and yeah, I will give my... Wait, what? I only retreated. I didn't get to attack. What happened? That's a bug. That's a huge bug. Wow. That is so unfair. Why? What the heck just happened? I have 3 energy. Why can't I attack? Oh, I can attack. Wait. Oh, okay. I'm being really silly. Okay. What happened was, I retreated, Fright Night activated, the Fighting Fury Belt no longer provided cover for, or no longer provided more HP. I was so scared. No longer provided more HP to that Yveltal. It had 160 damage, so it got KO'd. I got to pick my prize. Then he promoted Darkrai. I was able to use Pitch Black Spear and KO the bench Shaman X, putting me down to 3 prize cards. Now, my opponent was saving this Darkrai. He can Dark Pulse right now and deal 140 damage, getting rid of my current Yveltal. Yeah, he had so many item cards actually. He whiffs, oh no, he didn't whiff 2 max elixirs, and he had a Sycamore. Okay, so the question here is, can I can no longer one hit KO. I was about to ask if I could one-hit KO this Darkrai, but apparently I cannot. If I deal 180 damage though, I definitely can simply promote this other Fright Knight Yveltal and be in a really good position. So I'm going to promote Keldeo since I can free retreat. He has 2 energy, so I do 20, 40 plus the energy plus DCE, that's 80 plus the muscle band, that is 100, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 plus the hypnotoxic laser plus this. Okay, I think this is my best play. I'm going to go pretty much all in on this Yveltal, but I am doing this because next turn I can easily promote the Fright Knight Yveltal and get rid once again of the effect of Fighting Fury Belt, and that makes sure that it gets KO'd. So even though I don't get to KO him right now, I do get lucky with the head flip. Actually, I'm going to bench this guy because if he ends, I don't want to somehow miss on the ability to find it. And yeah, 160 plus the poison, that puts him at 190. He does flip heads, which I'm glad he did. But he's in a lot of trouble, because once I promote the Fright Knight Yveltal, I'm in a really good position. I no longer fear Malamar because I do have Keldeo. And how many dark patches have I played? 2, 3. Okay, I still have 1 dark patch potentially. So if I find that, he does KO me. But in turn, he will get KO'd himself. So I don't even need the Fright Knight Yveltal. Right? He has 220 HP. Well, it doesn't really matter now, does it? I'm gonna promote it, see how the game deals with that. Yeah. Darkrai also perishes. Perfect. So I am down to 1 prize card. I do get the Hypnotoxic Laser. That means a single Lysander onto that Sableye. I win through Quaking Punch. So that's the game. That is absolutely the game. That is absolutely the game. So I'm just gonna do that really quickly. I'm going to versus Seeker, Lysander. I can't poison, yeah. So that's the game. So yeah, you can see how important it was to KO that Shaman earlier on. It put me way too far ahead. I mean, he does have 2 Pokemon powered up, but those pretty much free prizes, yeah, my opponent just concedes. Those 3 prizes really meant that I was way far ahead for my opponent to catch up. He did have a ton of energy in play. I had no energy in play, but I did kind of go all in on that Yveltal, planning towards that. And yeah, that prize card of the Hypnotoxic Laser was definitely lucky, but I also had a ton of Verse Seekers left, so that meant I could continually bring up either the damaged Darkrai or the Sableye to simply get myself a KO. So we're at 50 minutes almost of the video. I will find 1 more match, and yeah, I guess we haven't faced too many standard decks other than this one and the Night March. Night March did run us over, but there wasn't too much I could do about that with the hand I was dealt. And yeah, you can see how fast this deck can be. I definitely misplayed in the previous game, or in this one, where I could have gotten the turn 1 Gallade or the turn 1 Archeops, but so far Archeops hasn't been important. So maybe the metagame is not right for Archeops. I mean, what would benefit from Archeops? What matchup would benefit from Archeops? Probably as a countermeasure to Mega Manectric. It doesn't work against Primal Groudon because they usually run 4 Wowfed. Doesn't help against Trevenant either because they do have Ascension and they also run Wowfed themselves. What other evolution deck is there? If you do go first against a Vileplume deck, then you would really benefit there. I guess that's a really good plus. And now we're starting. So Night March once again. I didn't pay attention. Night March, Night March, Night March, Night March. And we start Fright Night Yveltal. Okay, my starting hand is not helping me. It's definitely not helping me. I will go for the Ultra Ball to find myself a potential Shaman. And what can we find here? We find a Versus Seeker. Okay, so at least we can do... Oh crap. I wanted to grab Compressor. I was thinking, yeah, Compressor and therefore grab the Berserker, but I don't have a Battle Compressor in my hand. That was really dumb of me. Okay, still gonna go for Shaman. Well, I could go for Jirachi as well, but I think Shaman is the better choice because Shaman can eventually attack as well. I will attach the DCE to Yveltal either to retreat to get myself an extra card or to leave it powered up. And okay, to find myself another Ultra Ball, so another potential Shaman. Get rid of the Lysander or Jirachi. Okay, I guess I'm gonna find Jirachi because desperate times call for desperate measures. I will use the Ultra Ball, find the Keldeo so that I can save the Yveltal. Yveltal is obviously much more important than the Keldeo, and Keldeo also has a lot more HP, meaning he will need well, wow, I can get this. Huh, that's a risky play. It's a really risky play, but I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for the Getses. Please be 7 item cards in your hand. Water energy. Water freaking energy. Okay, at least the supporter is an end, so we only draw 2 cards. But my opponent will have to win us unless he top decks something really good, so that's still okay. We're still okay here. We have a ton of Pokemon he can target. Why does he have water energy in Night March? Why? Wow, he actually passes. Okay, I'll take that. Muscle Band I'm gonna attach to Shaman, and I'm gonna Sycamore. I have no idea why my opponent did that just now, but I do get this, which is really nice. I will be able to KO the Pumpkaboo. And is there something else I need? Not really right now, so I'm gonna save this. I will get my KO, gonna see what he does. For some reason he didn't end, and he will probably end now. But he's in a lot of trouble, and I hope he has to bench a Shaman. Hope he doesn't KO me and he has to bench a Shaman. He benches Mew, which also works, and he ends, so he can definitely find a lot of cards right now with Shaman, with Battle Compressor, find his DCE and get 6 more Night Marchers in the discard pile to KO me. But I guess the odds aren't too great, and I actually draw the other Fright Night Yveltal, which is great. He benches Joltik, attaches to Mew, goes for an Ultra Ball, so looks like he's just resigning the Pumpkaboo to getting KO'd. Looks like he's just resigned to the Pumpkaboo getting KO'd, which is great, which is definitely great for me. He also benches another Pokemon, so the 60 damage will definitely go towards Mew. There's no reason for me not to go for the Mew, I guess. Although you could make an argument for Shaman, because I do have the other Fright Night Yveltal right now. The fact that he already attached an energy is great, unless he finds a switch, which looks like he won't even have enough Night Marchers. He only has 2. So that's definitely great for us. And yeah, there's his pass. Okay. So. Going to bench Yveltal. because these guys are great in this matchup. And Darkrai might actually be great too. Darkrai might actually be great too to pick off the Joltik. Okay, so what do I want right now? I'm actually going to target down the Mew because that's a lot scary. Well, actually, I don't know. He can replace attackers really easily, can't he? So I will bench the Yveltal. I will attach the TC here, and I will use the Dark Patch. I could definitely end right now, and if I do, I think it's better for me to end right now because I will draw an extra card. If I waited a turn, then I would draw one less card. And okay, so I'm confused. I genuinely don't know who to target, the Mew or the Shaman. I think, yeah, I'm gonna go after Shaman. Because after I attack this Mew, I will not KO it, but I will get a KO in Shaman with whatever Yveltal gets to attack, and I will also deal a ton of damage to the active Mew, which is great. And with the Muscle Band and the Hypnotoxic Laser, it will even be in range of a Shaman KO. So all I will need to find myself is a TCE, which is obviously great. Okay. Interesting matchup here. I guess, I don't know. I mean, I definitely got a lot better start than my opponent did. Got a lot better start than the one I got in the previous Night March match I showed. And yeah, at least we get to see a full Night March game to end the video and our 4th day of Regionals week. Now I am recording this on Sunday and I am waiting for for Game of Thrones to start. That's why I decided to record right now. And yeah, the Night March, he is able to KO me. Makes sense. Now, yeah, I think we're in a pretty good position. I definitely think we're in a pretty good position. So, that Shaman is gone. That Shaman is an absolute gunner. That will put us down at 2 prize cards. So, I think it's in my best interest to power up Darkrai because that means no matter where Mew goes, I can target it down. So in order to ensure I can do that, I'm going to play the Floatstone here. I'm going to play the Hypnotoxic Laser, deal as much damage as possible to that Mew, not counting on the poison or anything weird like that. And okay, I'm going to Versus Seeker and Sycamore here. To Verse Seeker and Sycamore, make my deck thinner as much as possible. Try to find those dark patches, which I don't. Actually, my hand is not ideal for what I'm trying to accomplish, but I'm going to get rid of the Seismitoad. I'm going to get rid of, well, AZ helps me, I guess. What doesn't help me? Drawing a Darkness Energy doesn't help me. Okay, drawing Yveltal does help me actually. No, because I'm gonna attach to Darkrai, right? Yeah. And what else doesn't help me? The Ultra Ball doesn't help me. Well, yeah, the Ultra Ball doesn't help me because I have the Shaman in my hand. So those 3 cards do not help me get where I want to be. I'm also going to use the other Battle Compressor. What I need is a TCE. So the AC does help me, the Sycamore does help me, top decking that. I guess the Darkness doesn't help me. And top decking the Battle Compressor doesn't help me either. And I guess Hypnotoxic Laser is no longer useful. So, Dark Patch. Actually, I'm gonna keep the energy. What doesn't help? Every other card helps me, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Anything I top deck potentially helps me. And I'm gonna use the Hypnotoxic Laser once again, just so that I don't draw it again in case he ends me. And yeah, I'm not playing the Shaman because in case he does use End right now, I will be able to have a chance to find it. To get a maxis and a TCG of my prices, that's definitely great. He might not even, yeah, he stays asleep, so that's really unfortunate for my opponent. Really, really unfortunate. If he somehow retreats and saves that, wait, what? Oh, that's so stupid of me. Well, still, doesn't matter because I do have the muscle band on the Shaman. If he has some sort of switching card and finds a TCE off of this Colress for 6, which isn't anything to write home about, all I need is to power up Darkrai in this turn, or I can take the KO with Shaman on the Joltik, and yeah, conserve the energy as well, conserve Shaman. I'm way too far ahead at this point for my opponent to really do anything, and his deck is almost at half, and he's looking for a single switching card or something like that. He's also looking for Shaman, I guess. Shaman... Wow. Is that seriously a fisherman? Okay. Obviously not the most competitive deck, as he's using water energies and fisherman in a Night March deck, but you can see the power of Fright Night Yveltal and how important it is to take a KO in the active and deal damage to the bench. And it's definitely a lot easier to pull off in Expanded thanks to Dark Patch, because in Standard you can use Fright Night Yveltal, but you have no way to accelerate your energy other than max elixirs. So that concludes our 4th day of this special week. I hope you guys have been enjoying. I'd like to remind you guys really quickly, the goal for this week is to get 100 likes on each video. If you've made it this far, I would really appreciate it if you could take the 1 second it takes, scroll down, click the like button and scroll back up. It really helps the channel out. And with that in mind, I will leave you guys. Also, please consider disabling ad block during the videos if you can to support the channel. I know the ads are annoying, but you can watch the video without ads and then let it play on in the background without the ad block on, and that would really help me out as well. And I will see you guys tomorrow for our final deck of this week. The next 5 decks will start next Monday as we enter our final 5 deck countdown onto spring regionals in the United States. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.